So today we're going to concentrate on impact. I've had a few questions about impact. I don't really use it too much because I like to just drag the raw file in and work with the audio that way. But this is an alternative to someone who has come from an MPC maybe and wants to get into using impact. Now I'll give you a brief overview of what it does and what you can do with it, okay? First off, you just see me there drag on the impact from the instruments tab. You've got here the Presonus, you've got impact present sample 1. Just drag it on and it will appear, okay? Now I'm going to go to my files and I'm going to use this kit, the gangster kit, okay? I've got no idea what's in it, but we're going to use this kick. So first one I'm going to do is I'm going to load a kick. What else? I'm going to load this clap. I'm going to load the hi-hat. You know what? I'm going to replace that congo with the finger click, okay? This is how we're going to work it out, okay? So kick, clap, hi-hat, finger, snap, okay? What we're going to do first off is we're going to assign these to channels. So with Studio One and Impact, you can see down here, you've got Stereo 1, Stereo 1, Stereo 1, Stereo 1. Now, obviously, we don't want to have them all on one channel. Would you like to separate the drums? This will be the easiest way to do it. Click and hold. You can see that Studio One gives you 8 outputs there for stereo and obviously another 8 for mono. So I'm just going to keep it nice and simple and I'm going to select mono 1, mono 2, mono 3 and mono 4. So now we've got 4 mono outputs for our drums. Now this one here we don't need, so we can hide that one. So there's 1, there's 2, there's 3 and there's 4. Now we're going to want to trigger them to the keyboard, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my root note. I'm going to go with C3, okay? So to get your root note, you can see you've got notes here, B1, B1. This would be the start note and this would be the end note. So it's like first and second note, okay? So let's start with a kick. Go down to this section down here just below amp and you're going to have a trigger. So my first trigger, I'm going to pick C3. Go to the next one, I'm going to put C#3. So it's literally the next note up, okay? The next one I'm going to put D3 and then the next one I'm going to put, what is it, E sharp, is it E sharp or D sharp? D sharp 3. Let's check this out. Perfect. Okay, so these are my samples. So if I play on the keyboard, I'm playing the C, playing the C sharp, I'm playing the D and the D sharp, okay? Brilliant. Okay, so we're ready to go. So let's change the second note to C3 for the first, C#3 for the second, D3 for the third, and D#3 for the fourth. So now they all play individual one note samples, okay? You can see as well for the kick, when we go back down here, you can go to pad play mode. If we click and hold, or not even hold, just click, you've got a one-shot poly a one-shot mono, a toggle, no, on and off. Okay, so obviously we're going to have a one-shot mono, and I think that's the same for all. Brilliant. Okay, so addition to that, we've got our 4 channels down here, as you can see if I put it side by side. So we've got our 4 banks, 4 channels. Let's get rid of these instrument banks. So this one, this one, this one, and this one. So I'm going to rename them, okay? So if I click on my pad, I can rename the sample or rename the pad. And I'm going to call it kick. Rename this one. Clap. This one I'm going to rename hi-hat. And this one I'm going to rename finger snap. Just so we're nice and clear what we're doing, okay? So now we've got all our samples ready. You can see up the top here, this window is going to show you what your sample looks like. And obviously if you want to make any edits, for example, let's say you wanted to shorten the clap. If you just hover your mouse over the edge, you're going to see this finger appear. Click and hold, it's going to drag it back. So you can see that it's a lot shorter. As I play it, so it gives you the option to do that as well. Same with this one as well. So yeah, that's a quick edit, and obviously you can do that with the other side as well if you roll it over the other side. So that's the edit function within the window, okay? Another thing, handy thing that you can do is if you're using a sample pack, like on the browser over here, if I drag this over here, you've got your browser window and you've got loads of samples. Instead of going through and just having a listen, you can just drag a sample in, and then you can just roll up here to previous and next. Now that's going to load the next sample in the folder, so you can literally drag any sample in, keep pressing next until you're ready, and when you're ready, there you go. So you can do that with each one. So for example, let's drag in this one over here, and I'm going to go next, and it's going to load my samples within the folder. It just saves time. So that's a good alternative there, instead of going through dragging them on. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Now obviously you want to get your stuff put down, so we're going to clear this one out. We're going to double click, and then we're going to double click again. This is going to open the MIDI window, okay? You can see here that you can change to piano view, or you can have the drum view. The drum view means that everything that you've got on impact will show up nice and neatly for you to draw on and arrange within the MIDI window. So let's open this up a little bit more. So if I was to, let's get a tempo down here. So we're going to create a loop. So that's a little loop just set up there using the MIDI from the impact. Now I'm going to talk about another thing that I think is really, really great from the MIDI window, and it's the ability to be able to, I've got to try and get this so I can get both of these in the same window. Okay, so let's try this now. Okay, this will do. Okay, so for example, let's do these hi-hats again. When you look at the MIDI info, okay, so if I was to draw on the hat, you can see that there is two kind of oranges there, okay? So you've got a darker orange and a lighter orange. Now, let's draw this again. If I click and hold, and then I go up and down, you can see that it goes up and down. Now, that's the actual level of the volume. So, for example, if I was to just click, it gives you the standard volume that it's supposed to be. Okay, so it's a lot easier to write in MIDI data like this, select all of it, copy and drag and stuff, yeah. But if you was to just wanting to like this, you select all, and then you can just come down here and just drag, and you can see that it changes up there. I think that's really, really handy, having it kind of hands-on in your face. It's a lot easier than maybe manually doing it. It saves a lot of time if you want to add a little hi-hat fill here or something, you know. Let's just do it crazy like this. I just think that's a good feature. I've always thought, the first time I seen that, I thought, wow, you can actually see the volume info on the MIDI files or the MIDI data. So that's really handy. It's not really important, but I think it's really handy. You can also see the velocity up here on this tab. So they give you a lot of visual options on Studio One to help you. This is why it's so fast. It's so good to use. And I find it just beneficial for producers who want to get stuff down really, really quick. So I'm just going to set up that loop again. Now we're going to move on to, well, quickly we're going to move on to the editing side. Okay, so for example, let's go to the clap. Okay, so on the right hand side of Impact, you've got three sections. You've got pitch, you've got FLT, which is like the filter section, and you've got the amp section. So let's concentrate on pitch. So if I was to play, we're going to be affecting the clap. So listen out for the clap and watch what I do with these knobs here. We've got transpose, tune, envelope, and velocity, and obviously you've got these three here. Okay. Next, we're going to move on to the filter section, all right? Now, do remember, this is only kind of filtering just the sample that I've clicked on. And remember as well that with individual ones, you can add automation for each part. So for the clap, say, I'm going to pull down this window now. And I'll tell you what I want to do. I want to affect the cutoff for the clap. Alright, so I've clicked up here. Let's make it easier because you can get to the window by the top left and you can see there's a black box. It says filter cutoff, so I've just literally clicked that and it's affecting it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is make it easier. You can do it within Impact. If you click this little gear icon, it's going to show you that window. So if I touch resonance, for example, it's going to show filter resonance. Alright, so let's concentrate on cutoff. And we're going to drag the hand onto the channel underneath. Okay, so filter cutoff. Now what we're going to do is we're going to create a line tool, and we're going to go down like that. Okay, let's see how it sounds. You could see there that the cutoff was automating, so you can automate individual parts in the blink of an eye. So just wanted to show you that. I think that's really handy as well to have. Okay, let's turn auto off and that one off as well. Now, if you are happy with your drums, take the click off, and you want to bounce them to maybe individual audio parts. All you're going to do is your channel strip here is selected, you right click, transform to audio tracks. Now instead of transforming that to, let's say, one audio file, this is going to transform it into separate individual audio parts for each pad that you've assigned. So what have we got? A kick, a clap, a hi-hat, and a snap. Okay, so I'm going to click this now and you're going to see this appear. It's going to give you options to render all the channels. So if you have any effects or compressors or EQs, what this is going to do is render all the channels, and it's going to create audio channels for you. So render the inserts, which would mean the inserts will be put onto the new audio file that's going to be created, but you can always return back. So it's saving you CPU power. It's going to save you a lot more performance from Studio One, and it kind of like disappears. Like the plugins will disappear, but they will remain on the audio part that you bounce. So I haven't got any going on. I'll tell you what, to make it easier, I know this is a bit jumbled, this this video, but I'm gonna quickly. Do you know what? I've got a preset drum EQ. Now this is what I do with all my drums. So this is how quick I'm gonna work. Drum EQ. There you go. Drum EQ. Now as you can see, all of these are a chain. Now this chain is something that I created, so if I have a drum I can quickly EQ it and move on. Now these are just stock settings. They're nothing special. Same with the compressor. It's just default settings. This is just saving me from dragging over a limiter or dragging over a compressor 4 or 5 times, and yeah, save it as a preset and you move on fast. So let's solo this, and we'll just quickly give it a little. I'm listening purely through my iMac speakers, so it's not going to be the best example, but okay, so for example here, my limiter, this channel here has already got information on it. So if I was to turn these ones off, you're going to see that this channel here, this kick channel, is got effects. So I want to render them effects so that when I get my audio channel appear, there's going to be nothing on it. That means that everything is put onto that audio channel, but I can go back if I want. So I'm going to right click, transform to audio track. It's going to give me the options. Yep, I'm going to click preserve the instrument state. So for example, impact, presence, sample 1, whatever it may be, it's going to preserve that. It's going to put it in the background so that if you do want to return back, it will come back. Okay, it's going to switch it off, but like I said, you want to come back, it will be available. You can add an audio tail if need be. I'll just put 3 seconds, just for example. Okay, we're going to go OK, and we're going to see the information appear on screen. Now these are the files that's created. You can see that it's taken away the main window that we had with the MIDI data, and it's left us with the audio files, but the MIDI data is embedded onto the audio file, so you can actually see the audio and the MIDI at the same time. That's brilliant. I think that's a great step forward for someone who wants to work fast. You can still go back to the MIDI. Let's just go back, say for example, and change the hi-hat. Okay, so we highlight it, right click, transform to instrument track. It's going to take all the audio files away, and it's going to go back to, here we go, to your MIDI files. Make your edit, so let's just say take away this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. I'm happy with that now. I want to render to audio again. Everything's cool. Okay. It's going to bounce them again, and there we go. You can actually see that the hi-hats have changed according to the MIDI data, and it's ready to go. So I think I've waffled on enough for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Been a tutorial on Impact from Studio One. Check out my videos for more, subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one.